if anything will. So we're just going to go, okay?
Okay, we can just go ahead and go.
All right, thank you. We have come in, and we do appreciate the opportunity you have given Stephanie to express herself, for this is helpful to her at this stage. We are grateful for that, and that you have been a good resource for all of us. For we find that this energy is very compatible. We would like to talk about the energy as it is distributed throughout the cosmos and is penetrating into the what we will call the earth field. This is a sphere of energy, if you will, that holds a certain vibration. This vibration permits the type of experience that those of you within that field are now able to have. When we say now able to have, of course, we remind you that it's always now. This refers simply to the physicality of the human experience. Do you understand this?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
When we speak of these things, it is to enable those who hear to take comfort at this time, for as things progress, they sometimes can appear disturbing to the individual who is trying to find his or her balance on this shifting field. It's sort of like for some standing on shifting sand. It's hard to get a foothold. And we do want to reassure many who may have this difficulty that they are safe. There is nowhere to fall. We are here, and we are assisting others to hold the space that will allow for this new experience. I can be heard at this time. I am the one they call Jesus. I was there and had many experiences. I have lived there, that is to say, within the world that you inhabit at different times. This will not be so difficult for you to process, for you have been giving these matters deep consideration. There is indeed a synchronicity in the fact that Stephanie talked to you about a course of love, which is indeed a worthy sequel to A Course of Miracles. We have been guiding her, as well as you, for you are open to receiving this information. There are some who would like to hear these words, and they will be permitted to do so through this channeling, for it is meant for others as well as you and the host, that is to say, Stephanie. Please pay heed, for the time for the change is upon us. We are well advanced beyond the need to continue in the paradigm that allowed for so many to experience a sense of loss within their own lifetimes. For they did not understand that they are always contiguous with me and others. We are all one connection with Source. There will be many who dispute these words, for they have cast their lots in with the devil. That is to say, they have turned aside from the heart's wisdom. I do not want you to think that this term that I have used so boldly, that is to call it the devil, is something to be afraid of. For it is a way of expressing the concept of a disturbance within the energetic field. That is to say, it is like a whirlwind, and we like the concept of the Tasmanian devil, which is the little whirlwind. For this is a good metaphor to express this facet of the experience. This is a convolution of the energetic field, such as you might find if you let the water out of your drain in your bathtub. It will create that little swirl of water. This whirlwind of energy appears to take on a life of its own. However, as you know, the water in that whirlwind or the air is no different than the rest of the water or the rest of the air. It is only a experience of a compacted perception that seems to exclude broader application. This is somewhat difficult to translate into words, for it is really nothing more than twisted thinking. The beliefs that create this whirlwind become semi-self-sustaining. That is to say, they appear to have a life of their own. They can be unraveled, and it is not unheard of or difficult to do so. It simply requires a willingness to trust. And trust is something that evades many, for they believe that they are so vulnerable. Do you understand the things of which I have talked?
Yes, I absolutely do. Thank you for all your words. I'm honored to be speaking with my brother Jesus. That brings tears to my eyes, and I thank you for your continued guidance and love. And I actually experienced that whirlwind in my abdomen. I have what feels like a life of its own energy vortex that I have been experiencing, so I know exactly physically of what you speak. And every advice I've ever been given is just to love it, just to trust, just to let it be, continue to flood it with light, and like you said, it dissipates. So I can relate to it personally, yes. And it's painful, and it does seem to have a life of its own, that the mind sort of locks onto it. It becomes a real thing, and then we act upon it and think about it, and it expands and grows and kind of becomes part of the identity, without even knowing that that's what's happening often. So it sounds like awareness is the first step, and to let that trust. And so much of our human existence is changing so much. And you talk about the shifting sands, it's very changing. So what do we put our trust in if somebody hasn't experienced or hasn't been grown up knowing you or the love that you represent? How does somebody find that?
You walk into your heart.
Yeah.
That is the locker in which you will find it all compacted.
Yeah.
It, for some, is a locker, as a frozen locker. However, it is all there. We could speak of it as requiring love for the unthawing of this knowledge. Therefore, if you could turn that love towards your own heart, it would allow the unlocking of your awareness of your own share in the divinity of the one source, which is that which gives life to all. Do you have any
My
other
heart is
questions
feeling
of
so
me?
Well, my heart is feeling so much energy right now. It's almost painful. So I'm just breathing and
As we would say,
feeling that.
there is within that whirlwind, or that vortex of energy as you refer to it, if you could pay attention, you will see the elements within it. There is and are certain thought patterns that sustain it. When you recognize these, it is entirely possible to release them instantaneously. This then will unlock the heart energy, which may flow unimpeded through you and into your world. For you are a part of the world, and you are one with the world. And there is great love and comfort to be had in no longer resisting your own expansion. Do you comprehend?
Yes, I comprehend. I think I have not yet been fully able to recognize all the thought patterns and beliefs that are, you said, convoluted. Even though that's my daily work, whatever comes up, I work with it, I work through it, I do my tapping, my energy work, my prayers. But I still have work to do. Well, I don't want to call it work. I still have growth.
You may trust the process, for this is how it works. If you allow yourself to simply release any fear of the process and of the consequences, you will fall into that space of love and acceptance, even as you are in the process. It is all a process, and it continues. We are indeed engaging in a new level of experience today, where we have entered into the time of the Magdalene, that is to say, of the reassertion of the feminine within the totality. This was necessary to balance out the polarities. We are within the human experience exhibiting this reunion of the feminine and the masculine through many individual expressions, such as this one that's going on at this moment, here now, with you and I, for many of the voices that are coming forward in this day are from within the feminine perspective. Whereas in the past, the leadership for many, many eons rested within the masculine. This is a readjustment of the balance, and therefore we are anticipating an era of peace and goodwill as that balance is restored. Can you comprehend this?
Yes, I can comprehend this, and it sounds beautiful. What advice can you give to the feminine energy or the to establish this balance? What is required? What is needed? How are we to grow and evolve the feminine energy to balance out the masculine?
There is no need to worry concerning this, for it is already done. The only requirement is that you step back and allow it to flow. Do not try to control it, for it is outside of your capacity to experience control. It is something that happens. Allow, and you will find peace. Do you understand?
To the best of my ability, I understand. Yes, I would love to experience that as a human here on Earth, a balanced, more harmonious, peaceful world. Because
I would
that's not.
like you to imagine a box. You may imagine anything in that box. It could be a sandbox, it could be a box of cookies, it could be a box of diamonds. There's a cover over it, and you remove the cover. It was always there. You just took off the cover. You don't need to create anything. You don't need to do anything. You simply need to allow the cover to unfold, to roll back, to be lifted off, and enjoy the contents. Does this make sense to you?
It sounds easy. It sounds great. It sounds fun.
I will leave you, for you are very much loved, and I wish to extend my love and blessings on all, and to understand that I will be here to help and guide those who call upon me. You do, however, have within you your own polarity to which you will be naturally pulled. This is to allow the balance in all, for we are all in a relationship, and through relationship we come to know that which is. This is one aspect of the experience of all that is. I can not be called upon in terms of the one path through which all might find salvation, for we are all the path into the light. Trust your own wisdom as I trusted mine. This is the message that I so sought to convey to others, that the light is within you. Look to your own soul, and it is there we will connect in love forever. Thank you for participating. We will be talking to you again in the future.
Thank you. That was beautiful. All my love. I feel you right here. Thank you.
Sharing this, I'm not sure who's talking now. Sharing this will bring much happiness to many who wish to feel the new energy within themselves, to know that the key is in their own pocket. With this, we leave you all of us today. This is those which are known as the committee.
Can I ask who committee? Who,
Yes,
where, when?
just a moment, please.
Okay.
We would leave you in the grace of God. You may ask your question still. There is sometimes a little lag with the energy as it comes through for Stephanie to put into words.
Yeah, excuse me for interrupting. Before you left, I just was curious about the committee.
What would you like to know?
Your energy, if you've been incarnated, if you are a collective of souls or angels, or if you can put any words around where you're from and who you are. I know not like we are human, but
We are indeed, and we number among us many humans.
okay.
We are those who are united in the heart. We are those who work together. There is no limitation on who and what we are, what our experience, for it is at the point of convergence within the energy of all. That is to say, as you move into deeper consciousness, as you perhaps will think of it, and connect more and more within your own heart space, you also will open up to your connection with us. It matters not where you are experiencing at the moment or who you are, for we are many who have experienced life just as you are. Here, we have many, many different perspectives, for every perspective is unique and therefore welcome. However, we have reached a state of coherence within our combined energy that allows us to speak with one voice. Do you understand this?
To the best of my ability, I do. And you're speaking from the light. And what is to communicate these messages of love to us, to guide us?
We are speaking from the heart. The heart is where we are connected. This is the place of light. It is the place of love. They can be understood as simultaneously experienced. We speak of the heart, and we have used the example before of a wagon wheel with many spokes, or the wheel of a bike with many spokes, and all are joined in the center, and yet these spokes go out to the rim and carry the energy out to the rim, where each spoke appears to be separate from the others. If you were to go to the rim, to the edge of one of those spokes, and look outward, you would see another spoke that seemed to be separate from you, and yet all are connected in the heart. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah, that's a great analogy. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Within that heart, we are all connected. Therefore, if you can clear the channel back down the spoke to your heart, that is where you will feel the connection.
Sounds great. Thank you. Thank you for that explanation.
You're welcome. We will talk again. We thank you again for your participation and for your willingness to give us your time and your experience. For you have allowed us to express ourselves through your very excellent questions. Take care. You are loved, as are all.
Thank you.
All right?
It's interesting because your energy pulls back, and it seems like you're just pulling the words out of the air, connecting, and it all comes together as a sentence, even though it's just a word at a time.
I know. It's like, you know what? Here's the thing that I notice is the energy pulls me like this, up and down, over and back. It's like the vertical and the horizontal, which they've showed me before, is that the vertical is your connection into, the higher consciousness, and your horizontal is within, like me talking to you, within that level.
Yeah.
So the energy is always carrying my head like this and this. I noticed that. I've tried to stop it, but I can't.
No, it's what it needs to do. And how do you feel when you're channeling like that? How do you feel the energy?
Well, I just feel very peaceful. So I'm just present, and I don't know. It's just, I'm just there.
Now, do you hear words? Do you hear words and you're repeating them, or do you just get a thought form and it kind of comes out of your mouth as words?
It's like I'm just picking words out of it. It's like they just coalesce.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it. They just coalesce out of the fog. And so they sort of come out of my mouth about the same time they're coalescing.
Yeah. That's so cool. What's interesting is that you weren't looking for it. I mean, this is not
I was
something that
absolutely not. I did not expect. It's like when they start saying, "I am," I'm like, "Who is it going to be this time?" You
who's
know.
I? You're showing up. I love
I
it.
know I am. I'm just like, this is, and I'm like waiting because I have no idea either.
Oh my gosh. And that's what I was curious like about your committee. Who is your committee? And it sounds like they were a collective of humans.
Well, yeah, the collective is just the vast energy of